Welcome, guys. Welcome back, or welcome to the Cities of Joy. Not been here before. Where have you been? Yes, you're going to have a look, a match preview of City versus Chelsea. This is a big one, guys, isn't it? On 15th of January, 12:30 p.m. kickoff. So we're going to have a quick look at that. No quirky stats today, guys. Just a lot to talk about with this Chelsea game. So I've not included that, but we'll have a look forward. We're trying to predict our starting 11, of course, which isn't easy these days, is it? And a couple of apologies. Well, not a couple of apologies. A couple of things. Obviously, the channel's monetized now. If you can watch any of the ads or follow any of the links, that'll be greatly appreciated, and obviously help the channel going forward. And again, I've managed to damage my front tooth. Obviously, I'll be going to see the dentist, but please forgive my goofy look today. I hope you can put up with it and stick with it. It doesn't put you off too much. If I could, I'd probably put images all over my face, so you wouldn't have to cope. But my apologies, guys. I'm going to have to get this properly sorted. It cost me a lot of money to get this done with the dentist, but obviously it's not working, so I might have to have a look at another alternative. But yeah, please forgive my looks anyway, guys. I know it ruins my movie actor looks. Of course it does. Yeah, whatever, Bernard. All right, guys, let's have a look. Yeah, the match is being shown on BT Sport, of course. Who's in charge? We've got Mr. Craig Pawson. I don't think he's been in charge for a while, actually, of City game. This is his 193rd top flight game, and he's done 19 games so far this season. He likes his card. Yeah, so have a look at my odds show, guys. There might be something on cards for this one. He's shown 76 yellow cards and 5 red cards. Let's hope it doesn't ruin this game by showing too many cards. His line-os for the day are Lee Betts and Richard West. Fourth official is Jonathan Moss. Yeah, he'll have a nice chair to sit on while he's doing his fourth officialdom. And Darren England, very, very important VAR these days. Seems to be just as important as it has been. It sort of died down just slightly, and now it's back in the foreground, isn't it, of everyone's views. Darren England is VAR. I'm making him the coffee. His assistant is Shan Massey Ellis at Stockley Park, whatever it's called. Previous meetings, yeah, well, last time out at the Etihad, of course, was the 8th of May 2021, 3 weeks before the Champions League final, of course. A dress rehearsal, you call it, but wasn't great, was it? City 1, Chelsea 2 that day. Another psychological blow for us, I think, prior to that Champions League final. I think Pep was trying to be clever, but obviously being clever, it didn't work. I think we still needed a couple of points then to clinch the title. It was within our grasp, but obviously we didn't get it in this game. We scored a pen, of course, on the stroke of... Oh, sorry, we didn't score a pen on the stroke of half time. That would have sent us 2-0 up. And Mr. Aguero Panenka, if you remember rightly. So at 2-0 up at half time, we probably would have put that game to bed. But obviously, we'll forgive Aguero, won't we? But that sort of ruined that. And of course, we were made to pay as Chelsea managed to equalise and then stuff us and totally deflate us with a 92nd minute winner. So not great, was it, guys, last time out? We have obviously we played at Stamford Bridge since and done okay, so we'll live with it. We'll look to that. We won't look at last season. We'll glance over that in the Champions League, etc. I'm sure, although I'm sure the Chelsea fans will certainly remind us of a certain Champions League. Overall record at our place, yeah, we played them 76 times in the league, in the various divisions, first and obviously Premier first and second. Obviously in the old days, it used to just go the first division. We played 76 times, we won 35, drawn 17 and lost 24. So Chelsea have a good record against us. 113 goals we scored, 85 against. Please check out my little History Boys feature that's out there already. Looking back at the game, 20th of January 1979. It was a bit snowy. The old orange ball made an appearance. Absolutely brilliant. Alisson was back. Mr. Buck was ready to go. Unfortunately, back upstairs. And it was the start of an interesting or pretty depressing time, depending which way you look at it. Odds to win the match, yeah, please check out my little odds show as well. City are 13-20, that's interesting. I don't condone gambling, please, when the fun stops. City are 13-20 to win this. The draw's 3-1. And Chelsea are 4-1. You get 9, as I'm recording this, you can get 9-2 with Betfred. But interesting prices. That with a tight game like this, there is some value to be had. So please check out my little odds feature as well if you're interested in that side of it. Right, how will this pan out? Well, there you go. Obviously, I don't need to say too much about the 10-point gap. Do you? 10-point difference between us and Chelsea. A must-win game. for them, to be honest with you, definitely not a lose game. Obviously, they take a point, but obviously that won't do them too much good, will it? For us, yeah, City win, of course, it's a massive statement of intent and a great psychological advantage. Not just over Chelsea, who probably will be out of it if we beat them. Let's be honest, about 13 points behind. All right, there's plenty of games to go still, but psychologically that's a massive blow, and psychologically it'll rattle Mr. Klopp as well. We've seen Mr. Klopp and Mr. Tuchel both getting a bit irate over the last couple of weeks as City have built up this little bit of a lead. So to win this would be amazing for City to going forward. Yeah, Chelsea themselves, interesting team at the moment. Lukaku obviously was on the naughty step, wasn't he, for a couple of weeks? But I can't. He played against Spurs last night in the obviously as he went through to the Carabao Cup final. And he didn't play great, but you could see that obviously you can imagine him just being put up there against City, and he will try and get in behind, or obviously the long ball over the top. Of course he will. I mean, a lot of players are playing okay now. Havertz has been in good form, and obviously we've got Rudiger who wants away. Apparently, he wants to leave Chelsea, but we've got to keep that thug in hand, haven't we? Let's be honest about it. But as long as we keep calm, we don't get involved in anything nasty, we don't get involved in any squabbles, that'll suit Chelsea, to be honest with you. We just want to get on with our game and win it on the pitch and not get stuck in with any sort of minor squabbles or little niggly fouls, etc. I mean, obviously players like Mount, he can be a little bit inconsistent, but then you've got players like Pulisic stepping up to the mark. All right, they're going to miss Mendy, but Kepa played very well against Tottenham last night in that Carabao Cup semi-final second leg. So, hopefully he won't have one of his better days. But Kepa isn't a bad keeper, although I say Mendy has kept him in some games fairly recently. Tuchel's just an interesting one. Tuchel's side conceded just 4 goals in their opening 12 league games. Have conceded 12 now in the last 9. Add to this no Mendy, it might be good. But obviously, you look back also at the game against Liverpool. They played very, very well once they took. They showed a lot of character once you went 2 goals behind. They certainly showed a lot of character to come back. And this has been emphasised in their last 5 league games. They've only had 1 win and 4 draws, so not great. But there are green shoots, as we can see. They showed character, as you say, in that Liverpool game. They beat Spurs 2-0 at Stamford Bridge quite comfortably. Of course, they beat Chesterfield 5-1. That was an easy game against, no disrespect to Chesterfield, lower opposition. But they'd finished off Spurs quite well last night as well in the second leg with a 1-0 win at the Tottenham Stadium, whatever it's called now. Obviously, a bit of thanks to VAR. I'm sure the Tottenham fans aren't singing anything about VAR now, are they? Let's be honest about it. And a Rudiger header, of course, confirmed their trip to Wembley, and their tails will be up now, Chelsea. As I said, even though they've not been great in the league, I think psychologically, certainly the last week or two, I think these cup games would have boosted them, and certain players that perhaps weren't in Tuchel's mind to sort of be starting games that have actually played very well and may come in the frame for this one. And another plus point, I mean, I don't want to be negative about this. I mean, just to show that this isn't an easy game, this is a tough game. Another plus point for Chelsea, they've got good away form. They've even had good away form all season, and obviously their style of play suits playing teams away from home, who obviously perhaps might have to come out and attack them a little bit more. And they're happy with that. Chelsea are happy being they're not that worried about being attacked. Said they have looked a little bit frail recently. But obviously that's where they have a lot more success against teams that are willing to attack them. So we have to be a bit canny when in this game about how we attack and what we do at the back, etc. We don't want to leave too many one-on-ones at the back. We need a little bit of cover there. So hopefully people like Walker are now fully fit and can play in this game. And say we don't really know, do we? What's happened? We'll talk about the team in a minute. But they took 23 points from 30 on the road. That's not a bad return. And apart from that recent Stamford Bridge matchup, as I said, well, we really dominated, and it was probably one of the most one-sided 1-0s you're going to see. We have struggled against Tuchel's tactics, and there's nothing to say we won't struggle or Pep won't struggle again, especially again, based on the fact of has he been around the players to sort of train them? Is he back from COVID now? I'm not too sure as I'm recording this, what's been going on. But again, this is a big game. We can almost knock them out of the title race in the next coming 90 minutes. And I say we will. I'm going to give you my 11 now. I say we're not overly sure. I can only hope that at least 8 of this side that played against Swindon will probably start this game, and hopefully they came out of that game okay. And players who were out for COVID were just isolating. They weren't too physically damaged by COVID, and we just don't know, do we? That's the thing. So I'm going to go with this as my City 11 anyway, guys. Let me know what you think of this and any changes. Obviously, we've lost Mahrez, so he's not going to be in it. I think defensively, it possibly picks itself. I think, obviously, you've got Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, and defensive midfielder Rodri. I think that's sort of set in stone. As I say, Aki's been doing very, very well. Stones has been doing very, very well, but with no real options left and right back anyway, have we? Apart from that, as long as all the guys are fit. So that's so you like the back six is pretty much set in stone. I think now, as far as Pep's concerned, as I said, I wouldn't mind a totally fit Stones being back in there, but it's just not happening at the moment. You've got to put Bernardo in if he's fit, of course. You've got to put Bernardo in. You've got to put KDB in, haven't you? Let's be honest about it. And the other one that I think sort of proved his worth, certainly against Swindon, all right, admittedly lesser opposition, was Gundogan. I think Gundogan's got to play in this game as well. So that's your 3 more, not defensive midfielders, if you like, Bernardo, Gundogan and KDB. But that leaves us a couple, doesn't it? I don't think Jesus is going to get a game. I think, to be honest with you, I think Phil Foden has got to start, surely, if he's fit. I say we don't know the effects of COVID. And Pep's going to go Raheem Sterling again, surely. He's going to start Raheem Sterling with that little bit of pace as well. So, yeah, say you got your defensive 6, if you like, including Rodri, and then you got Bernardo, Gundogan, KDB, Phil Foden, Raheem Sterling. Is it good enough to beat Chelsea? Well, let's hope so. I mean, obviously, it should be good enough to beat Chelsea. I mean, we play to our strengths, and Pep plays to our strengths rather than worries too much about Chelsea. But we can look vulnerable at the back, and we have done recently, and Chelsea are exactly the same. So it could be a tie. It could be a game with goals, but I do expect it to be a little bit tighter than that. And we need to cope with their pace on the break, of course, and the balls over the top for a marauding Lukaku, who, let's face it, can be either lethal or comical in equal measure, depending what mood he's in. And let's hope he's in a comical mood for this one, guys. We do need as well to be very sure in front of goal. We do need to take our chances. I didn't mention Cole Palmer there, of course. He's a wild card, isn't he? I just can't see him starting this game, guys. Can you, Cole Palmer? I just can't see. It'd be very, very brave of Pep if he does, and I think we'd be delighted because I think he might cause Chelsea some problems, perhaps than some of the other guys like Sterling. May not on the day, we're certainly not seeing the best of Sterling. We're seeing a little bit better from him, but so Cole Palmer is a sort of wild card in all this as well for me. Let me know what you think, guys. Anyway, as I said, I had no quirky stats today. I just wanted to talk a little bit more about Chelsea and City and this matchup, and let me know your thoughts and what you're thinking. A very, very important game in the scale of things, not just for City and Chelsea, but also City perhaps and Liverpool as well from a psychological point of view. We want to keep the pressure on, don't we? We want to now they've lost 3 or 4 of their players to the African Nations Cup. We want to put pressure on them where they have to win games, and if they drop any more points, it's more or less them, because when we play them come April, is it April? I think we play them. Obviously, hopefully by then we may have a big enough gap to actually, it doesn't matter even if they manage to beat us, but psychologically the advantage would be amazing. Yeah, just before we go, Match Day Live, if you like watching that, you've got Sean Goulter and David James as the special guests on Match Day Live, so it starts about an hour before the game, and of course half-time and full-time. And I will be back hopefully on Saturday evening. It's a 12:30 kickoff. Hopefully I might have a couple of things to do, but hopefully I'll be back with a full match report on Saturday evening. So join me for that. Make sure you've got that notification button pressed. Give us a thumbs up for this, guys, if you enjoyed it. As I say, please share your views as well. I know lots of you do. All new views, you're welcome from new viewers, etc. So please, I try and answer all the views, even if it's just a thumbs up, if it's a good comment, or I do my best to actually answer everybody that I can. So hopefully I'll be back with the match report on Saturday evening. If it's not, if by chance I struggle for whatever reason, you never know these days, do you? Obviously it will be definitely would have thought out for the Sunday. And also, please check out my other two little Chelsea features, the History Boys feature, which I always enjoy doing. Please have a watch of that, guys. It's only 8 or 10 minutes, something like that. It's not long. It's just have a look at our history of City versus Chelsea. And, of course, the Odd Show, which is out there. If you fancy a flutter, I don't condone gambling, but if you fancy a bit of fun, let's see where the value is on this game. There certainly should be, shouldn't there? Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. We're going to do the rest of the night. Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More importantly, let's all look after each other and look after your teeth, especially. That's I know we don't have a rep for that in the UK, do we? But I like to try and keep your teeth okay. But yeah, look after your teeth as well. Never mind your family. Anyway, until we meet again, I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.